everyone did not plan. I'm so excited we could all be here tonight for Caitlin and Mike after everything 2020 has thrown at all of us. Before I get started, I have a little backstory. The week Caitlin and Mike met, they were both traveling for work in Florida. She snuck some pictures of them and sent them to Claire and I, and said she met this guy and they've been hanging out, and he invited her to come back to Phoenix with him. She was living in Washington, D.C. at the time, but I encouraged her to go. I helped her rearrange flights and probably told her you only live once, and I sent her on her way. Looking back, it sounds as crazy as it is, so I'm glad we're actually standing here, and Mike, that you didn't turn out to be a serial killer after I sent my friend across the country to hang out with you after hanging out once. Caitlin entered my world in fall of 2005 when we were 18 years old, and to make a long story short, we hated each other. Now here we are 15 years later, and I'm giving her maid of honor speech. We liked the same guy our first semester of college, and let's just say Caitlin and I for sure got the better end of that deal. As fate would have it, we were living in the same dorms next to each other, and we were inseparable by winter of 2006. Since then, she's been one of my favorite parts of life, and I barely remember life before her. I remember that winter semester, we kept a record of 28 days that we spent together, going to the local college bars, out to eat, and to the tanning bed. By spring, we were moving into an off-campus house with Claire, one of the other bridesmaids, and that would be the beginning of the most beautiful 15 years of friendship. I don't know how you sum up 15 years of friendship in a short speech, but there's always one story that sticks out that reminds me no matter what, we'll be friends. In spring of 2006, I took her car to get us breakfast from McDonald's after a night out. Somehow, I managed to not hit not one, but two cars in the drive-thru. And Caitlin still wanted to be my friend after that. Basically, our friendship is unconditional, and it's always been a judgment-free zone. Caitlin really is the definition of a best friend, and she's been my biggest supporter of every decision, good or bad, for as long as I can remember. From college parties to sorority events to the good, the bad, and ugly of dating, and several moves to different states, and even Caitlin moving to another country, one thing has never changed. And that's our friendship. We send 1 million texts per day about the most important and also the most ridiculous things. And I always know no matter what, she's one phone call away for anything I need. One of my favorite weekends of 2020 was this last Memorial Day when Mike and Caitlin drove with their dogs to spend the weekend with my boyfriend and I at our home in St. George, Utah. It was such a happy feeling to sit back and see how both of our lives have unfolded. From college in Norfolk, Virginia to both living out west, being with our dogs and our guys, it made me so happy. For the many more years of memories together. There's a quote we heard together at the Wicked musical last year that really sums up our friendship. Who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I've been changed for good. And I feel so lucky to have found friendship like this. I'm not big into public speaking, but I could seriously speak all night about how much she means to me and how many memories we've shared. So let's move on to Mike. Mike, I want to say when I first met you, I knew you were the man of her dreams, but I could only base that off looks after a few minutes in the airport. But yes, you're the man of her dreams. I think there's a list somewhere of everything her future husband would have. Tall, muscles, likes dogs, can pass a background check, and you check all the boxes. After meeting you a few times, I knew you were going to give my best friend the life of her dreams, and you've proved that good things come to those who wait. And I know we are both sick of waiting for Caitlin to find the man of her dreams. Mike, thanks for accepting everything about her, even the part where she's a little unorganized and doesn't always clean up her side of the bathroom and never closes cabinet doors. Caitlin and I get ourselves in some weird situations sometimes, and I feel like it takes a lot of patience for any man to deal with the both of us. A couple years ago when I needed a place to park my car in Phoenix and you let me leave it at your house for almost 6 months, I was like, okay, he definitely has the patience of a saint and can deal with any situation that might arise with Caitlin because you never really know what you'll get with us. I really enjoyed watching y'all's relationship unfold. My booklet is falling apart. And I'm pretty sure I couldn't have handpicked a better husband for my best friend, and I'm happy to share her with you. I think this is the part of the speech I'm supposed to give marriage advice, but since I'm not married, I'm just going to tell you that I'll always be Team Caitlin and Mike, and I'll always be here in good times and bad. And I can't wait to watch your love grow and see the life you create with each other and any future Caitlin and Mike, little Caitlin and Mikes. It's such an honor to be asked to stand next to you today. So, if you raise your glass, here's a toast to Caitlin and Mike. Hope you always remember the promises you made and the vows you exchanged and know you can get through anything. And I love y'all.